What's up, guys? It's your boy Dekkster here, and Rastakhan's Rumble just came out yesterday. Lots of new lists are out there. It's a lot of fun. Lots of craziness going on, lots of new archetypes being tested, and just new cards being shoved into old archetypes. So I've been digging through Twitter looking for, those top decks, whatever has been hitting high legend. I might not be covering a list you're looking for. Like, I wasn't able to find a high legend pirate rogue that at least someone who was tweeting about it. It was actually hard for me to find someone tweeting about an odd mage as well, but I did end up finding a list on HS Replay that was performing nicely. But yeah, sorry if I don't cover the exact list you're looking for. The meta is going to be constantly changing. It's just day one. So these are just what's looking good right now. Still craft with a lot of caution. These decks might be completely different in a couple days from now. If you gotta craft something, maybe you craft Zul'jin. Zul'jin looks like he's probably gonna be here to stay if you're planning on playing Hunter. But other than that, I would just hold off on your dust if you're tight. If not, just craft away. So we got MJM hitting top 6 legend with this new sort of Deathrattle Big Beast Druid deck. So what's so cool about this MJM list is that beast package. We got the Undasta here, which can pull out, Tyrantus. It could pull out the War Bears. It could pull out Hadronox. And then we got Juicy Psych Melon to kind of draw those big boys. This thing's not running UI, but you don't actually need it. It just seems to have enough draw without it. So we have a really cool Deathrattle synergy here between the Astral Tiger, the Hadronox, and then your Undertaker kind of takes both of those and kind of makes your deck infinite. So Undertaker will die. He'll go back in your deck while spawning all your taunts. Then you draw them again, and then you keep going over and over. And yeah, this list is a lot of fun. MJM took it a top 6, so definitely check it out if you're looking for a sort of new take on Druid. We got Theo's new Spell Hunter here, and my goodness, this is probably gonna be tier 1. At least some version of this, not this exact list, but something like this. I feel like it's going to be tier 1. Of course, too early to call, but goodness gracious. It's got that Spellstone package, all the traps. Get the Spellstone. If you can drop that and your opponent doesn't have AoE, no Hellfire or anything like that, you're probably going to win. And then, of course, we get insane value through To My Side and Rockdalar because we're not running any beasts in here. The best part about this is actually just that Zul'jin, being able to replay everything, and you're kind of going with spells that are going to benefit you when you replay them with Zul'jin. Like, normally you wouldn't run Deadly Shot, but because of Zul'jin, it's actually really good. Same goes for Crushing Walls. And of course, he'll replay your Spellstones. And then also Baited Arrow, actually doing really, really good here. Doing a lot of work. Overperforming, at least compared to what I was expecting. We're also running Rexxar in here because, he does AoE and he builds beasts. And that's fantastic. So ideally, you might want to save Rexxar for after you Zul'jin, because the Rexxar hero power is still going to be better than Zul'jin. But yeah, I don't know. I was having a lot of success with this list, and Theo as well doing great with it. So check this one out if you're looking for Spell Hunter. I do think Spell Hunter is going to stick in that top tier, so it might be safe to craft. I don't know. Be careful. Be careful. But it's looking good. All right, so this next one I actually just grabbed off of HS Replay. Looked for the top performing odd mage deck. And of course, low sample size, 710. But that's going to be higher than any individual player. So, as a whole, 710 for first day is relatively decent sized. But yeah, here's the odd mage. I was running into a ton of odd mage on ladder, and I don't know why no one was tweeting about it, but it seemed to be performing very nicely. The Pyromaniacs to draw cards, it seemed that Spider Tank body was actually kind of difficult for me to deal with at times. And they usually end up drawing, a couple cards, which is insane. Got Blast Wave just doing some work, doing some AoE clears. Sometimes it doesn't, give you that overkill value, but you don't really need that overkill value all the time. You kind of just want an extra AoE. Of course, Janalee doing some insane work here, pulling out that Ragnaros. It's just once they do that, if you have no way to deal with it, it feels over, especially if they have Jaina down, they get that lifesteal. This list just, it's incredible, man. It's incredible. But yeah, personally seeing the most odd mages here in day 1. And I feel like Odd Mage is going to be here to stay. We got Zyrios getting a smooth grind from 4 to Legend with his Shirvallah Paladin here. So this seems to be a bit mid-rangey. Maybe you're winning by just punching your opponent in the face over and over with Corpse Takers. And of course we got the Zandalari Templars, which will turn into pretty decent sized dudes. And then we got Shirvallah that's actually gonna end up probably being like a 0 mana card. You do your steeds, you do your consecrations, you do your flashes of lights, you do your spellstones, and then Shirvallah's, it's free and it's insane value. I haven't personally tried this one out. I've been playing a lot of OTK, and OTK has been doing really well for me. And OTK has been performing very nicely for me. So I do want to try a version like this out. And yeah, I mean, you always got those good clears with the Pyro, the Equality, the Consecrations, and then just insane staying power and healing with your Ziliacs, your True Silvers, your Flashes of Light. And then, of course, cool value here with High Priest Thekel, turning all that health into armor and then healing it back up since you have so many heals. All right, we got Haze hitting top 10 legend here with Combo Priest. Now, this doesn't have too many new cards, but we do have the Serenite Taskmaster in here and the Sand Drudges. And these Sand Drudges are actually really annoying because, you know, Priest has so many cheap spells. They can have a Sand Drudge down. If you can't deal with it, then they just start going off with Shadow Visions, you know, Power Word Shields and Circles. There's just so many cheap things they can constantly make taunts with. And hopefully you have a way to get through those little taunts, or else you're going to have a bad time. And then, of course, you know, we got the combos here. You throw down the Steam Bot, you buff it up, it goes out of control. You know what's nutty, though, is going Taskmaster into a Shadow Ascendant, and then your Shadow Ascendant constantly buffs up the Taskmaster. You don't even care about the Deathrattle giving them a token, because you can easily deal with it. But yeah, if you like Combo Priest, this might be a good way to go. We got Akumaker hitting legend from rank 4 with a smooth grind with this Kingsbane Rogue. He's really enjoying Raiding Party. And also Walk the Plank just looks great. Kingsbane Rogue would sometimes run like a Vile Spine or even an Assassinate. So dropping those for Walk the Plank just seems like it's going to strengthen the deck as a whole. Of course, now that Raiding Party is a thing, we can throw some Buccaneers in here to get more draw value. South Sea deckhands, maybe to have a little bit more early game, and they synergize with the Raiding Party. And I feel like Kingsbane's back. Don't know if this is going to be the list once again because it's just day one, but I do think there is going to be a pretty high tier Kingsbane Rogue out there. So yeah, I mean, Pirate Kingsbane Rogue, pretty cool. And you know how this thing works. You get your Kingsbane down, you start buffing it up with your Toxes, with your Buccaneers, with your Green Skin, with your Deadly Poisons, and then you put some lifesteal on that bad boy and you just go to town. Your opponent can't really like destroy the weapon because it just goes back in your deck, and then you find it with the Shiny Finder, and yeah, you better kill Kingsbane Rogue faster or else you're gonna die. All right, we got Jericho hitting some high ranks with this Burn Shaman. And it's very similar to the Burn Shaman I've been playing for a little bit now. Of course, we got, you know, that new package with Spirit of the Frog. We got Krogwa in here, Lickums and Totem Smashes. And we also got a Feral Spirit. So this is very interesting. Of course, the main thing you want to do here is you want to get your Fireflies on one. You want to slam those down, maybe hit them with a Flame Tongue Totem. Start punching your opponent in the face. Maybe get a Spirit of the Frog down, you start cycling your spells. You know, your Zap pulls a Lightning Bolt, your Lightning Bolt pulls a Rock Biter, your Rock Biter pulls a Lava Burst, and then you Lava Burst, Electro Lava Burst them in the face for a huge chunk of damage. Unbound Elementals can really get out of control here if your opponent can't deal with them early, because you're going to have Overload cards, and those Overload cards are going to buff them up. And then you got Thunderhead to try and deal with those aggro decks. You know, if you're against like an Odd Pally or something, you get a Thunderhead down, you get a Zap, maybe you buff up your Thunderhead with an Earthen Might. They're going to have a hard time dealing with that. And then, of course, you know, Doomhammer Rockbiter is always just incredibly good. Krogwa the Frog is kind of cool, but I honestly feel like he's going to ultimately be cut from the list. He just has an awkward interaction with that Overload, but for now he seems to be performing nicely. So I couldn't find a well-performing discard Warlock. Hopefully I find one in the next couple days. But we do have this new take on Zulok from Mariana, hitting top 10 legend with this very heavy on the one drop Zulok. It cuts the heal package. I don't necessarily know if this is actually better than the heal Zoo, or if it's just because he was playing an aggro deck on day one and other people were trying new things. But yeah, we got some spicy new cards here. We got the Grim Rally, we got the Serenite Taskmaster, and actually I guess that's it. Those are the new cards. But it does look fresh, you know, compared to the standard heal zoo that's been going around. So I tried this list out myself, and it felt pretty good. You know, throwing those Taskmasters out on one, usually your opponent can't deal with it. Maybe you buff it up with some veterans and you just start going to town on their face. And if they do eventually deal with it, you don't care too much because you have other dudes on the board who could just chunk through that taunt. Maybe get a wide enough board and then you just pop one of your boys with a Grim Rally and buff your whole board up. And then hopefully you win by that point. Of course, the dream here is to get Keleseth on curve. It's kind of it's the best thing to do. But if you're not good enough to get Keleseth on 2, you can still win through those sick 1-drops. And, you know, of course, getting buffs on your imps, your chain gangs, and finishing strong with some Doomguards and Fungalmancers. We got Sjow playing an odd Dragon Warrior here. Claims he went 12-2. So this just looks kind of like a control mech dragon warrior, which is kind of cool. I mean, the amalgam counts as both a mech and a dragon, so it allows for that sort of hybrid build. Then we got dinos, you know, we got Ziliax, and then most importantly, we got those spicy new dragon cards. We got the Lancer here, the Scorcher, the Emberscale Drake, the Crowd Roaster, and Warrior usually struggled with single target removal. You'd get rid of those shield slams, and then you're kind of just hoping they don't have too many more big dudes, because you can only slam 2 big dudes, right? And then you're done. But now you got the Roaster to maybe deal with a big dude. You just hit a dude a little bit and then you smack him with that Lancer. So yeah, it definitely strengthens some of the weak points from Odd Warrior. I'm very curious as to if, Odd Warrior is going to ultimately stay with the Dragon package or if they're going to drop it. But yeah, that's about it, boys. Those are the best performing decks I could find. Of course, I've seen people hitting rank 1 Legend with Malygos Druid since the expansion dropped, but I don't think I'm going to cover decks that don't really have any new cards. I'll be doing another one of these in a couple days, so stick around for that. I do stream on Twitch if you want to follow my Twitch. We go weekdays, Monday through Friday, starting at 8 a.m. Pacific. Once again, be careful with your dust. These lists are probably going to change, but I hope you guys, got a lot of luck with your packs. Hope you're having a good time on ladder. Good luck out there. Stay hydrated. We'll see you next time.